Hello, it's time for another article. Um, this one is a little weird. This is from Forbes, as you can see from the video. Here are the biggest problems gamers are having with the Nintendo Switch. Um, this is from Eric Klang, contributor, um, which means he's a freelance writer who gets paid to write for Forbes occasionally. Not too shabby. The Nintendo Switch launched last Friday, and over the weekend, gamers all over the world have finally gotten a chance to play with the shiny new tech. I've seen a bunch of people posting screenshots and videos of their time with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And beyond the usual outliers, everyone seems to agree that the game is amazing. That's because it is amazing. I've had mostly a great time with the Switch as well, but plenty of users are reporting um, issues with their console. Below is a rundown of some of the biggest and most common problems users are facing. If you've experienced your own issues, either listed here or something else, don't hesitate to let us know in the comments or in the Twitter or Facebook. Adhesive skin pulls off the finish of the Nintendo Switch. Okay, so here we are. Joy-Cons are disconnected. Widely reported by reviewers prior to the console's launch, many players have discovered the left Joy-Con seems to randomly disconnect while playing in docked mode. Trouble syncing with the left Joy-Con seems to be made worse by interference, possibly from other electronic devices or with physical items blocking the controller from the console, like arms, legs, small children. Even aquariums seem to cause problems with the left Joy-Con. This hasn't happened ever during my time with the Switch, so it's hard to say if this is just something wrong with the system designs or if some bad batches went out. My take, I've been playing the Switch mostly. I'd say 98% of my time playing this system has been with docked, as you can see, and I've had no problem. I've had no problem whatsoever. Adhesive skins ruin the Switch surface. Users are reporting that adhesive skins are pulling the paint right off the Switch and Joy-Con controllers. One company that makes adhesive skins got out in front of the news, warning consumers of the problem on Twitter. You're the dumbass who put adhesive skin on your Switch. Here's the way I look at skins for consoles. If it didn't come with the skin, then I'm not sticking it on there. The only console that I own that has a skin on it is I have a special edition of the N64 that's fake plastic gold, but it was made to be that way. So yeah. Saved game data is locked to the console. You may be able to take your Switch with you anywhere you go, but the same cannot be said for your game saves. Inexplicably, saved game data is tied to the console itself and can't be transferred to a micro SD card. Games and screenshots can, but for reasons we simply can't fathom, saved data is stuck to the system itself, at least until cloud backups are added to the Switch. This means that if you have 20 hours put into Zelda and then your console crashes, there's no way to retrieve your saved game. If you want to move your data to a second unit, you won't be able to. This is even stranger than not supporting wireless Bluetooth headsets when the system has Bluetooth capability built in. Okay, you just countered your own argument. In your first sentence, you may be able to take the Switch with you anywhere you go, but the same cannot be saved for your game saves. Okay, let's think about this logically. Okay, if the games are for a system that you can take anywhere you want to go, it's a console that also happens to be portable, then why would you need to take your save someplace else when you have the console? I mean, barring some catastrophic thing, like your console dies or something like that. And I'm sure Nintendo, as time goes on, you also say the thing, will have cloud backups or some way to back up your saves. You negate your argument within your own argument, so that's hilarious. It's a brick and I'm drowning slowly. Many consumers are reporting orange screens of death that require a hard reset to fix. My own Switch review unit wouldn't fire up at one point, though it had no screen coinciding with its brick state. Fortunately, a hard reset worked for that as well. At least one Switch owner has reported a blue screen of death, however, that wasn't fixed with a hard reset. Thankfully, that problem seems incredible. Other users are reporting flickering screens and black and white screens. You know, everything has a failure rate. Let's just knock on wood. that failure rate is incredibly low, tends to be incredibly low on Nintendo hardware. The NES had a low failure rate, the SNES had a low failure rate, the N64 had a low failure rate, the GameCube had a low failure rate, the Wii had a low failure rate, higher than the other 4 previous consoles, but still relatively low. The NES, SNES, N64, GameCube, Wii, the Wii U had a low failure rate, and this system will probably, it's a Nintendo 7-pin system, it probably will also have a low failure rate. Just saying. So that's kind of a, I mean, you know, apparently this console's been selling hotcakes. I will do a business cast later on this week when the sales numbers come out, and we'll talk about those numbers. You know, it is what it is. The screen can scratch when you take it out of the dock. How the fuck are you taking this out of the dock? Because I have taken this out the dock, put it back into the dock, and I've had no problem. I will say it runs a little hot in the dock, but not really an issue that's like, oh my god, this game is scratching. Like, what are you doing to this, you know, to this console that it's scratching? Because, I mean, how are you taking this? Are you like a monkey? Like, how are you taking that out the dock? Speaking of issues, screen issues, some Switch owners are reporting scratches on the tablet screen just from taking it out of the dock. That's a problem given how often this is supposed to take place. This is also not a problem I've had, but I want to make one thing very clear. Buy screen protectors ASAP if you want to avoid ugly scarring on your Switch screen. Why is this an issue? Number 6, dead pixels aren't much fun. Other users are reporting dead pixels on the Switch screen. Not much can be done about this save getting a replacement. The most bizarre part of this particular issue, Nintendo's response, of course, here's what they said. Small numbers of stuck or dead pixels are characteristic of LCD screens. These are normal and should not be considered a defect. If you buy a product and pay good money for it, don't accept anything less than a fully functioning system. Return your Switch for replacement if you add dead pixels and let Pixel know this is an appropriate and acceptable way to treat consumers. I think you can still, I think even with this console for the first 2 weeks or so, I think you still can return it for a full refund. So, you know, there's a $300 system, so that counts as a big box retail price. So you can return it if it's not working. And I'm pretty sure Nintendo has a return policy, but you have to pay for shipping and handling, if I remember correctly. The charging port is on the bottom of the unit. Okay. Frankly, I don't think this is a big issue. The only time this will interfere with you playing the Switch is in tabletop mode, and I see very few occasions where gamers will need to have it charged while in that mode, especially with a 5-hour battery life. Most of the time, you'll have it in handheld mode, where the charger on the bottom will be fine, or charging on the dock. That being said, it does seem like a weird oversight and something that Nintendo could have avoided. Fuck. How can I put this? Charging dock for the Wii U on the bottom. Now, AC thing's up here, but if you want it, I lost my charging dock, but if you want the charging dock back in the day, it was on the bottom. That's a non-fucking issue. The 3DS's charging thing was on the bottom back in the day, if I remember correctly. No, I lied. The Game Boy's charging thing was on the bottom. I mean, where a charge thing is, unless it's totally inconvenient, unless it's like in some place where logically it's hard for the wire to reach, or it just makes no sense, like you can't do normal operations with it being there, then it's not an issue. And the other, oh god, okay, this isn't everything. Some people were reporting lousy range for Wi-Fi. Others have noticed loud fan noises. Still others have had games crash out of the blue or freeze it while playing. If you've experienced this or any other problems, let me know in the comment section. Okay, basically, you know, look, it's a new console, shit happens. I haven't had any of this happen. I would like to know what these people were doing to the system to make it get like that, but what are you gonna do? Here, let me put this thing in sleep mode. Alright, just turned my game off after saving. I mean, basically, the Nintendo Switch is a wonderful piece of hardware. It does a lot of amazing things, and I think it's fucking awesome. But with that being said, it is what it is. So, what can you look forward to in the future? Well, basically, this Saturday, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be doing a podcast, either solo or with a group of people, depending on who shows up, about the Nintendo Switch. First, we'll be talking about the system itself, how we feel about it, how we feel it's been going, how it hasn't been going, whatever. Where we would like to see it in the next 6 months, a year, 2 years. Then we'll talk about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and whatever other games we've played for the system. And that's it. There might be some other topics that creep in there because BS Busters always other stuff creeps in. But look forward to that, and good day.